And if you have a blanket or a towel this morning, it's up to you if you want to lay back on a little blanket. So I'm just going to take the folded edge. You can roll it as big or as small as you want. And then take that roll sort of to the lower part of your rib cage. So you're just coming into a gentle back bend. I know it's kind of hard to see because my mats start. If you don't have props, you can be flat on your back. Just take a quick scan of your body, starting at your feet. And just notice how things are feeling this morning. So make the way up the legs, to the pelvis, along the torso and the spine. Just noticing the shoulders and the arms and the hands. And finally the neck and the head and the face. And just start to take some fuller breaths here in and out through the nose. As you do that, seeing if you can find some expansion in the sides of the rib cage. Noticing if you can inhale into the sides of the rib cage as well as the front, maybe the back, depending on where your prop is. You can feel like you can get a slightly deeper breath. And then just take the arms, reach them up by the ears, and spin the palms towards each other. And then just bend the elbows and reach your hands for opposite elbows. So just hold here, your arms are making a box around your head. Just a couple breaths. And then just notice what forearm you have on top. We'll just change it. So extend the arms straight, rebend the elbows, taking the opposite forearm in front as you reach the hands for opposite elbows. Just a couple breaths. And then just re-straighten the arms by the ears. Then you can lower them down by the side. And then just gently roll to the side so you can take your prop out of the way if you have a prop. And then just make your way back onto your back. And just lay flat on your back. Just take a couple of breaths with the spine in this neutral position. And then just hug the knees towards the chest. Just a little bit of movement, maybe circling the knees or just rocking a little bit. And then keep the knees bent. Just drop the feet to the mat, setting up for a bridge. Take the arms by the sides and just press into the feet, lift the hips low back, mid back, and just hold at the top. And then roll all the way back down. Keep the knees bent. Just walk your feet wider than your hips. Take your arms to a T and just take the knees side to side. Just gently windshield wiper them. Starting to get some gentle movement in the hips and the spine. And then just drop the knees over to the right and hold there. And then draw the knees through center and drop them over to the left. And then bring the knees to center, just hug them towards the chest, and make your way up to seated. So rock up and down along the length of the spine or roll to the side. And then once you're there, take your arms to a T, right arm over left arm, give yourself a hug. Maybe gently tucking the chin, lengthening the back of the neck. And then lift the head back to neutral, arms to a T, left arm over right arm, maybe tucking chin. And then lift the head to neutral. This time unwind the arms, reach them by the ears. Bend the right elbow and reach the left hand for the right elbow. And then just change sides, right hand to left elbow. And then just release that, take the arms down by the side, shoulder rolls up and back. And then opposite direction. And then make your way into tabletop. And just take some time here to do whatever feels good this morning. Maybe that's moving the hips in circles or taking some cat-cow. And then just sit your hips to your heels, come into child's pose. And then make your way into downward facing dog. Just wiggle and move. And then just come forward into plank. Drop your knees down to the mat and lower all the way to your belly. Just bring your forearms forward for Sphinx pose. So bring the elbows under the shoulders. You have a couple of breaths here. You can maybe turn the head, roll the ears to the shoulders, or maybe sway the torso. And then come back to stillness in Sphinx pose. We're going to take this as our vinyasa today. So we'll come to Sphinx. You're welcome to stay here. If you want, you're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into a forearm plank. We'll hold for a breath right here. And then lower the hips, untuck the toes so you're back in Sphinx pose. Lower the head and shoulders down, take the hands back by the rib cage, press through tabletop to downward facing dog. Yeah, there's nothing like forearm plank to just make you hot and sweaty very quickly. Maybe that's just me. Walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Inhale, drop your knees. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, forearms forward for Sphinx pose, elbows under shoulders. You can hold there. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, forearm plank. You're holding here for your inhale and your exhale. Inhale, lower the hips, untuck the toes, you're back in Sphinx. Exhale, lower head and shoulders down, hands by the low ribs, press through table to downward facing dog. You have 5 breaths here, nice and easy. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step to plank. Take an inhale in your plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, forearms forward for Sphinx pose. Exhale, you can hold here or tuck the toes, lift the hips, forearm plank. Inhale, hold it here. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lower the hips, untuck the toes, you're back in Sphinx. Exhale, lower head and shoulders down, hands by the low ribs, press through table to downward facing dog. your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to standing. Exhale, hands side. Inhale for chair. Exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, flip between the hands. Inhale for crescent, arms by the ears. Exhale, frame the foot, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, flip between the hands. Inhale, crescent, arms up. Exhale, frame the foot, downward facing dog. You can hold there or funny vinyasa. Inhale for plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, sphinx, forearms forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, forearm plank. Inhale, hold it here. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lower the hips, untuck the toes for sphinx. Exhale, lower head and shoulders, hands by the low ribs, press through table to downward facing dog. And one more of these sort of modified straight B's with the crescents. Now you can always skip forearm plank and just hold sphinx, it's up to you. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale for chair, bend the knees, sit back. Exhale to standing, straighten the legs, hands side. Inhale for chair. Exhale, fold forward, straighten the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, straight to down dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, flip between the hands. Inhale for crescent, arms by the ears. Exhale, frame the foot, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, flip between the hands. Inhale, crescent, arms up. Exhale, frame the foot, downward facing dog. You can hold there or inhale for plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, forearms forward for sphinx. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, forearm plank. Inhale, hold here. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lower the hips, untuck the toes for sphinx. Exhale, lower head and shoulders down, hands by the low ribs, press to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, step or hop forward. Inhale, lift halfway, those were good. Exhale, fold. Inhale for chair, bend the knees, sit back. Exhale to standing, straighten the legs, hands to the heart. Close your eyes here, take an inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, straight to downward facing dog. And take your right leg up and back. Just bend the knee, open the hip. You have a couple of breaths. You can circle the ankle, the knee, or you can be still. And then straighten the legs, square off the hip. Bring the foot between the hands for a lunge. Drop the back knee down to the mat. And then take the arms up by the ears. Take the arms to a T. Left arm over right arm. You can give yourself that hug or bring backs of hands together or palms together for your eagle arms. You can keep the spine neutral. If you want a little back bend with the center of the chest, maybe the fingertips, maybe take the gaze up. And then just come back upright, unwind the arms, reach them up by the ears. Take the hands down, frame the foot, go straight to downward facing dog. And then take your left leg up and back. Bend the knee, open the hip, maybe take some movement. And then straighten the legs, square off the hip. Bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down, and then take the arms up by the ears. Arms out to a T. Right arm over left arm, hug, backs of hands, or palms together. Maybe the spine stays neutral, or maybe you lift the chest, take the gaze gently up. And then unwind the arms, reach them up by the ears. Take the hands down, frame the foot. You have time for a vinyasa, or you can step straight to down dog. Your choice how you get there. Oh, going for the vinyasas. You missed the traditional vinyasa. I didn't give it to you. Couple breaths here in down dog. Then take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands and come up into crescent. Reach your arms up by your ears. And I'm just going to come to my back knee so you can see me. So bring your palms of your hands together over your head. And then bend your elbows. Take your thumbs to the middle of your upper back. And just like we did in the low lunge with your eagle arms, you can keep the spine neutral or lift the elbows in the center of the chest and take a gentle back bend. And then come back upright, take the arms by the ears. Take the hands down, frame the foot, go straight to downward facing dog. And then take the left leg off of that. Bring the foot between the hands and come up into crescent, arms by the ears. Palms touch at the top. And then bend the elbows, thumbs to the middle of the upper back. Maybe lift the elbows center of the chest to elongate the spine and come into a gentle back bend. And then come back upright, take the arms by the ears, hands frame the foot, vinyasa or skip it, meeting in downward facing dog. And just steady your breath here. And then walk your hands to your feet, forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, cactus the arms, little back bend. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold forward, holding in this forward fold. So you can reach for opposite elbows, or you maybe you have to take peace sign fingers to big toes. And then just release your hands to the mat and make your way to downward facing dog. Take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down, warrior two. And then reverse the warrior. Take the right arm up and back and take your left arm, reach it towards the front of the mat. So your arms are going in opposite directions. Yep. And then we're going to take it forward. So bring your torso forward, left arm by the ear, right arm reaching back. So we'll take those with breath. Inhale, reverse it, right arm by the ear, left fingertips forward. Exhale, torso forward, left arm by the ear, right arm reaching back. Inhale, reverse it, right arm by the ear, left arm forward. Exhale, torso forward, left arm by the ear, right arm back. Inhale up to warrior two. Exhale, hands frame your foot, your way to downward facing dog. And then take the left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, spin the back heel down, warrior two. We'll take this first round slowly. So reverse it, left arm by the ear, right fingertips reaching forward. And then bring the torso forward, right arm by the ear, left fingertips reaching back. It's like you're a ballerina. Inhale, reverse it, left arm by the ear, right fingertips forward. Exhale, torso forward, right arm by the ear, left fingertips back. Inhale, reverse it, left arm by the ear, right fingertips forward. And exhale, torso forward, right arm by the ear, left fingertips back. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hands frame the foot your way to down dog. And just drop your knees, come into child's pose. Maybe grab a sip of water. It's really hot right now. Just let everything soften. Let your mat support you. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. Take the right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down. We're actually gonna hold here for a couple of breaths. So you're welcome to reach for blocks and bring them under the hands if that feels supportive for you. And then you decide, you may stay right here. If you want, you're gonna pull your left heel in towards your left, so that back heel is gonna come in. Reach the right arm by the ear and make a big half circle to reach for the top of your left foot. You might be like, that's crazy, that's not happening for me. Hands can be down, foot can be down. Make sure that left knee feels okay wherever you are. And then you have the foot, slowly release it with control. Right hand frames the foot, and just make your way to downward facing dog. And then take the left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, drop the back knee down, and just pause there. Again, maybe you have those blocks. Maybe that right heel pulls in towards the butt, left arm reaches forward, and you reach that left hand to the top of your right. When you have the foot, slowly release it, left hand comes to the mat, and step to downward facing dog. And then walk your hands and your feet towards each other, forward fold at the center of your mat. Take an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart. And then I can't see you, so if you can bend down and give me a thumbs up if you have a strap. If you have a strap, let me know. One person has a strap. We could do it without the strap, so I'll give you both options. How about that? That'll just be easier. So we're gonna come into a standing balance pose. I personally like to do this one next to a wall, especially if I'm using the strap. So if you have like a dresser or a wall next to you, you might want to be close to it. And then if you have the strap, you can just take the strap in both hands to get behind you, so it's hanging behind you, and then cradle the top of the right foot into the strap. So if you don't have the strap, you're just gonna reach back with your right hand for the top of the foot. So you decide where you wanna be. And then if you have the strap, you're gonna take the arms up by the ears, so they're straight by your ears. I know it's hard to see me. And then I'm gonna bend the elbows. I'm gonna step back, maybe you can see me a little better. So once the arms are up, bend the elbows. And then walk your hands back towards your foot any amount. And then maybe press the top of the foot back, coming into a back bend. If you just have the foot, you can take your opposite arm forward and take that variation. And then slowly come out of that. Be careful if you're in a strap. Shake that out. It's a really hard pose. The big back bend, and on top of that, obviously, the balance component. So let's try the other side. Strap in both hands. You can just loop it behind you, and then rest the top of the left foot into the strap. Or again, you can just reach for the foot with the hand. Ooh, I'm getting a cramp. And then if you have the strap, arms will come up by the ears and straighten, and then bend the elbows. So you can start to walk the hands back towards the foot. And maybe you press the top of the foot behind you as you press the heel up towards the ceiling. So you can really use the power of your top leg. Good, and then just carefully make your way out of that. If you have a strap, take it to the side, shake everything out. Come back to mountain pose, right in the center of the mat. So you're just standing on both feet facing the front of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to downward facing dog. And drop your knees down to the mat for table. And take 3 rounds of cat-cow here, just with your own breath. And the movement can be really small and gentle. Doesn't have to be huge. And then after your third exhale, sit back into child's pose. And maybe you stay in child's pose and just take the arms, reach them back towards the legs as if you're reaching the hands for the heels. They may not touch, but just getting the arms in a slightly different position may feel good for the neck and the shoulders. And then if the arms are by the legs, just extend them forward and come up into tabletop just so you can transition back to a seated position. So we're going to come into a shoulder stretch here. You probably are going to want a block to support the head. You might not have a block, so you may opt not to do this, and you can just be in a regular child's pose. So I just want you to watch me for a second. If you have a block, I'm going to take it on the medium setting. And the lower part of my body is going to be in child's pose. So this is really important. Weight is back with hips over heels. So I'm not going to be here because that's going to put a lot of weight on my neck. So hips are on heels, and I'm going to rest the forehead on the block. And then, before I get my head there, I'm going to cross one arm over the other. So arms will be crossed, forehead will rest on block. If you don't have a block, it's just going to be too intense probably to have your arms in this position. So you'll just be in a regular child's pose, okay? So you can make your way to that position now. You can come to sitting on your heels. Find that middle height of the block. And then let's start with right arm over left arm. So crossing the arms over, straightening them as much as you can instead of reaching for the back. And then letting the backs of the hands rest on the mat as the forehead comes to the block. And if you do that and you're like, ooh, that is just not for me, come out of it, come to child's pose. You really want to have weight back in the hips instead of on the head. So you have just a light support of the head without the block. We have 10 more seconds on this side and we're going to come out and change sides. So if you're in child's pose without your arms crossed, you can just stay there. If your arms are crossed, just slowly, carefully come out of that, come to sitting on the heels. Take a couple shoulder rolls or just any movement that feels good. And then we'll take the other side. So if you took the cross arm position, this time left arm over right. Hips again are back in the heels in child's pose and forehead rests on the block. We have about 15 more seconds here. And then wherever you are, slowly, carefully make your way up. You can take your block to the side if you have one. And then make your way back to seated. Just extend your legs out in front of you. And take some movement with your feet. So maybe point and flex or take some circles. And you're on the tops of your feet for a bit. For some people that can feel uncomfortable. And then once you've taken enough movement there, take your legs out straight and wide into a straddle position. Take the fingertips in front of you. And then maybe you can stay here, or if you want, you're gonna walk your hands forward, hinging forward into a fold. Just close your eyes. And just notice where you feel sensation here. So regardless of if your stomach is flat on the floor, with most of us it's not, you're probably noticing sensation in the backs of the legs, maybe the inner thigh, groin area, or the low back. Just notice it. Our body gives us messages that we often ignore. And then gently walk your hands back, lift your chest. Just draw your legs together so you can make your way to the front of the mat. Take the hands behind the knees and roll yourself all the way back to your back. Just hug your knees towards your chest and pause there. And then take the arms to a T and drop the legs to the right for a simple twist. And bring the legs up through center, drop them to the other side. And draw the legs up to center, hug them towards the chest. And then come into happy baby. Maybe gently rock side to side. And then if you're rocking, come to stillness and happy baby. You may see right here, or maybe you straighten the right leg, keeping the left leg in happy baby. And then rebend the left I'm sorry, right leg. Rebend the right leg and straighten the left leg. And then rebend the left leg so you're back in happy baby. And then last thing, maybe both legs straighten so you're in a straddle position. And then just release that, hug the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a squeeze. And then release the legs, make your way into Shavasana. Just like we did in the beginning, let's take a quick scan of your body, starting at the feet, noticing how things feel now, maybe stopping at places that feel different. And once you've made your way to the top of the head, just letting go of any thought, just enjoying your breath. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your ankles and wrists. Reach your arms by your ears, big stretch. And then roll off to your favorite side, pause there, eyes closed. I read this little quote often in class, and I think we all need it right now. It's very simple. It says, stay close to people who feel like sunshine. We all have people like that in our lives, hopefully, at least one person who feels like sunshine to help keep your spirits lifted. Press into your top hand, make your way up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed, hands at the heart. Have a wonderful Saturday. Try and stay cool and safe. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.